All right, I'd like to bring to order the November 5th, 2025 meeting of the Sandwich Conservation Commission. My name is James Andrea. Present tonight are
Jeremy Shea,
Jonathan Klein,
Bernice Waller,
Tyler Gaudreau,
Linda Romano.
Kasha Koss.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint alternate voting members, Linda Romano and Kasha Koss.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please note this meeting is being recorded live and streaming on Sandwich Community Television. Live broadcast can be viewed by visiting sandwichcommunitytv.org on Government Live Stream, or you can view later on Government On Demand. You can also view on local Comcast Channel 9. I would like to remind everyone of our meeting format. For all hearings, the applicant will be allowed adequate time to present their project to the Commission. Upon completion of presentation, the Commission will be allowed to question the applicant, ensue Commission discussion, and ask staff for comment and input. Upon completion of the Commission and staff's discussion, I will read summarized for the record any public comment received by the staff prior to the meeting. I will announce public comment to the audience where any interested parties are to raise their hands. I will ask you to come up front. Please speak clearly into the microphone, stating your name, address, and affiliation for the record. 3 minutes will be allowed. All speakers are to address the Commission, not applicants or audience members. When your 3 minutes are up, I will ask you to take your seat. A reminder that all public comment is not a Q&A forum. Upon closure of public comment, the applicant may add additional information and comment to the Commissioners. The Commissioners will deliberate along with the staff. Finally, I want to remind everyone that this Commission is comprised of your neighbors volunteering our valuable time to help protect our town's natural resources to the best of our abilities. Our job is to uphold the provisions set forth by the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, as well as the Town of Sandwich Wetland Bylaws, Chapter 7. We appreciate your understanding. Okay, moving to new filings. I'd like to open up DEP file number SE66-2058, Pennings Family Trust, care of Environmental Consulting and Restoration LLC, filed a notice of intent for proposed in-ground swimming pool at 12 Marshview Circle, Sandwich, Mass, map 62, lot 16.
Good evening, members of the Commission. Brad Holmes with VCR. I'm going to let space on this easel. We filed a notice of intent for the property located at 12 Marshview Circle. The site itself is located at southeast of Marshview Circle. There's a gravel driveway leading to a home with a septic system and yard area. The site also abuts the Scorton Creek salt marsh system. So there's a bordering vegetative wetland that runs along this portion of the property. There's another bordering vegetative wetland that extends off the property. And with those bordering vegetative wetlands comes the 50 and 100 foot buffer zone. And the site is within land subject to coastal storm flowage in full. So we're fully within the flood zone. So we prepared in this notice of intent application is a proposed pool. We're proposing a small 12 by 26 foot pool. With the proposed pool would come some vegetation clearing to situated here. That area is, here's the existing tree line. There's some grading proposed around the pool, and there's a small pool apron, about a 2-foot apron to surround the proposed pool. We are, as I said, fully within your jurisdiction of land subject to coastal storm flowage. We're out of the buffer zone. We've been able to locate it away from the 100-foot buffer. There isn't any other activities proposed. And with that, I'll bring it back to you.
Thank you. I'd like to open it up for public comment. All right, closing public comment and open up to the staff.
Yeah, so I had reviewed this and I did a site visit, I believe it was yesterday. The area that the proposed pool is going in is already developed, save for a couple of pitch pine trees, I think. I would just recommend conditioning that any, the standard pool conditions of any pool water that needs to be removed, trucked off site, disposed of properly so it's not drained into any of the surrounding resource areas at the BVW or the marsh. I think it's pretty straightforward. So.
Okay. All right, I'd like to open up to the board. Does anyone have any questions?
It's reasonable. They're in land subject to coastal flowage.
Where's the access coming from?
Right through the driveway, and this area is mainly cleared. They wouldn't want to come over this area because you have a septic system here.
Okay. And there's no tree removal to gain access?
There shouldn't be.
Okay. And are there any on the circle, is there any drains that are down there like as they leave, if it's muddy and messy, if they're leaving with the trucks, it won't go into any drains that are on the street.
There may be street, I don't know what their,
Okay,
it is a gravel driveway.
okay,
We are proposing erosion controls as part of the project,
Yeah.
and obviously we don't want to.
yeah, if it was pavement, it rained down and go everywhere, but if it's
Sure.
gravel, it's fine, yeah,
It should come off by the time
absolutely.
it gets to the roadway.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else?
Do you have erosion control inside of the buffer zone, or is the erosion controls mostly just for the track out?
We'll surround the area so we keep a, maintained work area. We can keep it outside the 100-foot buffer. It might be a little bit within the buffer.
Yep.
You can see here, they got the grading is proposed right here to kind of tie into merge. Here's the 100-foot. It's open, so I think they could put a silt sock right along that limit. Keep a nice clean work area.
Anyone else? Okay, all right, we'll just make a motion for a special. You wanna do that?
Motion to approve DEP file number SE 66-2058 Pennings Family Trust, care of Environmental Consulting and Restoration LLC, 12 Marshview Circle, Sandwich, Mass. 02537 with standard and standard conditions.
Standard special.
Special conditions.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jenna.
All right, I'd like to open up DEP file number SE 66-2057, Karen Ricciarelli, care of Ian Wilson Associates, filed a notice of intent for a new deck with balcony, boardwalk, and stairs to bank and mowing at 39 Torrey Road, map 63, lot 13.
I have a propensity to knock those over. Good evening, Arlene Wilson, A.M. Wilson from representing the owners here, the Ricciardellis. This site is about 1.5 acres, developed first in 1997 under a negative notice of intent granted by this board. Starting at the northerly end, resources include a tidal creek and its riverfront, salt marsh, and then a brackish marsh dominated by phragmites, a little intertidal beach, which is actually in the little piece of salt marsh that comes up, the little creek that comes up from the salt marsh. Land subject to flooding up to elevation 14, which is an AE zone, part of the ACEC for Sandy Neck, which extends to the 100-year flood line, and the intermittent stream along the easterly sideline, which is really part of the drainage system from the subdivision that's developed a wetland edge, but it flows intermittently and so needs to be classified that way. There are no coastal banks on the site and no mapping by Mass Natural Heritage. The salt marsh immediately adjacent to the creek is restricted under Mass DEM coastal restrictions project, but the project does not extend into the restricted area. Project has 3 parts. We want to enlarge the existing deck. So the house is here, there's an existing deck. They want to bring that deck out and then build a balcony over it. All of that work is over existing turf lawn, although the easterly half is within, part of it's within the 50-foot buffer. Been there for a long time. I think the buffer came after the house, so it's a little unusual. That deck, it will be less than 30 inches above grade, as is the existing one. It's supported on sonotubes with wooden posts under to support the framing. All of that's within the footprint of the deck. We'll be taking the turf lawn out and replacing it with gravel for drainage. Soils here are not particularly good, as I think you all know. The deck, the new deck is about 30 by 64. The second story is about half of that. Then there's a waterfront access here. We're proposing essentially a footpath and boardwalk system. So across the lawn, there's a little bit of a slope here. The applicant wants to put some stone slab stairs on that slope to get down. Then a 4-foot mowed path that gets down to about elevation 11, where the soils get really soggy and the Phragmites starts to encroach. And in that location, we pick up a boardwalk, Boardwalk is only 3 feet wide, less than 24 inches above grade. And we're proposing to use through flow decking, which is a composition material, so there's no preservatives. It lets light through so the marsh can grow up through it. And it doesn't create a drainage problem along the edges of the boardwalk. And that will get down to the high water mark. We don't want to carry it into the intertidal zone, partly because then it becomes a pier, and it would need permitting from Chapter 91, which for what the applicant wants to do seems a little excessive. They have some kayaks, which they will carry from the house. They've had a problem with leaving kayaks down on the beach before, apparently. There was at one time on the westerly side a kayak rack that was actually built by the neighbors, and they had trouble with people borrowing things. So they're gonna. So it's a long haul. I wouldn't want to do it, but they want to carry the kayaks, so that's fine. And then, much as was allowed with the neighbor on the east side, they would like to mow that meadow once a year to about 12 inches in height, just enough to keep it from succeeding to a woody, shrubby area. So it'll maintain as a meadow for wildlife purposes, and because that's what their aesthetic prefers. And I would be happy to answer questions the board has any.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to open up to public comment. All right, closing public comment and opening up to the staff.
I have done a site visit, I think that was, I want to say yesterday as well, and noticed, so you've got the lawn area, and it's a pretty steep drop, and then that woody vegetation, and then is it the creek that runs after the woody vegetation, and then the beach, correct, or marsh area?
Mm-hmm.
So would you be going over the creek with the boardwalk?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure, and we can check on that and go back and forth with it, but if that would trigger Chapter 91 if you're going over an intertidal creek, because that's going to fluctuate with the tide. I don't know if that would count as like a dock type structure, because obviously, you know, if you went into the pier area, you would need Chapter 91, but I don't know if that would count as the creek too.
Yeah, I am.
Just thought of that now.
I don't believe it will be, but we'll skirt the mean high water there if we have to when we, and we would come back to you with a modification if we needed to move the boardwalk.
If it had to be higher or something. Yeah, typically we would want the Chapter 91 before the order of conditions would get issued, I think is how it's gone in the past. So might want to address that. And then the area that is behind the lawn where all the shrub layer is, that's where the path is going to go. It's going to be stone slabs to the path in the shrubs, woody vegetation area.
The stone stairs are would be in here.
Yeah.
And it's meadow below that.
Okay, because when I was out there, it looked pretty, I didn't walk
haven't-
through it because it's
They haven't been
shrubby.
able to mow it
Okay.
for about a year and a half
That
because
checks out
they
then,
haven't had the permit in hand.
Gotcha, thank you for not following yeah, so I would just, I understand the footpath's not super wide, and we want to mow that area to be more meadow habitat. But you might want to think about some mitigation plantings within that to make up for the path, after the mowing has occurred, just because you're going to be impacting the area. And it's pretty well vegetated now, whether it's meadow or shrub,
It
it's
is.
still habitat. Then the annual mowing of the meadow, we would probably keep it to the same condition that we looked at 41 Torrey, when we issued that one. It was annual mowing, no less than 12 inches, once a year between January 15th and March 1st, or September 1st and October 15th, for the 3-year duration of the order of conditions, just to avoid spring baby animal season and any migrating birds. And then we talked about the deck footprint and updated information with how many pilings and supports would be needed. You said between 28 and 35, so we could condition that, just so we're not going over that amount. And I need your green slips if you have them.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Thank you. I'd like to open it up to the board. Does anyone have any questions? Arlene, the brown at the entrance of the driveway, is that a proposed like cobblestone apron, or is
That's there.
that's existing? Okay.
And that's a construction access as well. They'll come in, they'll store things either here or whatever they're going to move by hand. They may well store it in the basketball court.
All right.
Get it out of the way of them.
And then the footings for the deck, are you guys picking up the old footings that were there, the concrete sonotubes?
I guess that will depend a little bit on their condition when they
Sure.
take the decking off.
And they're not in a jurisdiction that requires no concrete, right? 'Cause that's-
Correct, yeah,
that's-
they can use concrete
that's
where they
dune.
are. That's
Yeah,
dune,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, then that, yeah. Any questions on the pathway? We condition stuff that happens. Like when these come in front of us with dunes, we condition work to be done away from where it's going to be installed, like if you're cutting anything, just so, particles don't go into the marsh area. So we would condition it like that we've done in the past. Trash.
I guess looking at the surrounding buildings, there are no boardwalks that go. This used to be Scorton Creek. Scorton Creek used to flow here, and then 1908 they cut the opening that's there now. But this was the original path of Scorton Creek, is what the boardwalk's being proposed to go out to. Which, just having no boardwalks anywhere along that offshoot, this one feels like it will be a glaring difference. And I think seeing the setup of the neighboring kayaks, I'm just curious, I understand there's that concern that a kayak went missing. I think that's the challenge of having waterfront. As when I lived on a pond, kayaks sometimes float away, people step in. Yeah. I'm not sure I'd necessarily think that then warrants a fairly extensive boardwalk across an area of a creek that has not seen any boardwalks yet. So I don't know. That's my first thought.
I mean, my concern also is that the end of the boardwalk just ends at the salt marsh, and it just allows access into the salt marsh without no protection there. There's no observation deck. There's no kind of terminal end. So I'm imagining this would just allow foot access into the salt marsh.
At high tide, the water comes up pretty close, and so there will be a portion of the day when it will be relatively easy to launch a kayak or go out there and just sit on the end of the boardwalk and do bird watching or whatever.
Would that be tide specific?
Pardon me?
Will that be tied, specific to the tide?
Yeah. I mean, the bird watching wouldn't be, but,
Yeah.
boating absolutely would be. And this property is a little different than some of the others on the street, certainly different than the conditions next door at 41, where there's more of a drop from the meadow to the shore. There's actually a set of stairs and some sandy beach there.
Yeah.
So, would you see more of a boardwalk like this along the street? I don't necessarily think so. Because I think the conditions are different. The other thing is that making this boardwalk very narrow and low in the midst of the Phragmites, which grow up pretty fast, I don't think other people are going to necessarily see it and say, oh, look at that, I want one of those.
I know you said boardwalk being lower. Would you are you proposing it lower than the regulated 24 inches?
Yeah, 24 would be the maximum.
Okay, because you can't go per our regulations, you can't go any lower than the 24 inch threshold.
Right.
So that's as low as it can go. We want to avoid having a boardwalk, smack on top of the marsh.
There is other material that you can use for decking that has significantly more light penetration.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
The through
fiberglass
flow,
grid. When we use that, we generally argue that it ought to be as close to the substrate as possible because the grass does grow through it.
Yeah.
But to be carrying things back and forth, it's a little difficult underfoot. And people have a tendency to put matting on the top of it to make it more comfortable to walk on, which defeats the whole purpose. So,
Do you have a diagram or a drawing of that style, like the decking and anything like that? Show the board?
I don't have one with me tonight. The
Okay.
through flow material,
And it would be made of
it's fiberglass and it's
Okay.
generally gray.
okay. And then what's it sit on? So what's the
Sits
base?
on, there's a diagram.
Okay.
What happens is that there are posts that come up on the edges and a framing that comes across. And it holds the decking material. Often this material is used on piers where it crosses the marsh now.
Sure.
Marine
Right, so,
fisheries.
yeah, I've seen that. And then are they doing like a PVC, slide over the post or?
Yeah, there's every contractor does it a little differently.
Yeah.
It's not worth putting it on the plan because they don't pay
Yeah.
attention anyway. But there are little hooks that they use to connect it, or they can drill screws through it into the wood frame.
Yeah.
I mean, given this is also an ACEC, I think I would at least maybe like to see this 5 foot wide walkway restored. Possibly. This 5 foot wide way clearing. If we're creating a new clearing, maybe suggest that to be restored.
It's really not kept clear. It's an easement for the subdivision, and it doesn't really go anywhere anyway. And people from the subdivision don't have a tendency to use it. Were they to want to, if the neighborhood association decided they wanted to, they would have to come in here and get a permit to clear it as well.
I see that, yeah.
I want to just visit where this boardwalk is I think that's, for me, I just need to get a better sense of what this is going
I
through.
agree, yeah.
Is that,
Would it be possible to schedule a site visit and to go over,
For construction?
for our purposes here,
To be honest with you, I am not sure, but probably
okay.
in the spring, for construction of the boardwalk.
Oh, no, so, yeah, can we do a site visit for the approval of this
I'm
application?
sorry.
Yeah,
So do a site visit before
Yeah.
potential issuance.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we really just wanna see like what the scope of the work, for sure.
yeah. Because part of it is awesome. Like, I am so glad that there is a collective idea of managing, especially the grassy area in front. Like, I drove past earlier this week, and I mean, that's what we want. We want people to be working together to collectively manage it. But I think that boardwalk just kind of seems like I'm not really sure what it's going through. So I think for us to be able to see that area would be helpful.
It's getting dark so early
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
Are you doing Saturday site visits or?
Yeah, we could do a Saturday, right? Yeah.
Jenna, what
Jenna,
would
do you
you
need
prefer?
to come with us, or
Yeah.
could we let you off the hook since you've already been?
I mean, I've been told to come if there's any potential for a quorum, so just to kind of be there for those types of
Yeah.
things. If there's individual commissioners who want to do a site visit, that's one thing.
Okay.
But if it's gonna be the collective, I should be there. I can do Saturdays, just
I
let me
don't
know
want
which
to make
one.
you do a Saturday. Is
I'll
there?
survive.
What about? There's a holiday coming up on the 11th. Is that no? You're good. Then you're yeah.
I'm away.
Right. I didn't even think about
Sorry.
that. That's not making sense.
It's like, I have the day out. This is
All right.
Yeah.
So I can be available during the day, but mostly I think.
We haven't picked a day yet.
What about-
I mean, I can be available any day, but next Thursday is kind of bad for me.
Okay. Yeah, because we could break it up too.
I'm available the weekend of the 15th, 16th.
Oh, we don't want to make you come here on a Saturday.
I'll survive. Just if it's a Saturday that I'm out of state, that might be hard.
Yeah, right.
Yes, that would be challenging.
I'm also here Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Monday through Friday.
Is there, and then do we want to ask Dave about the 91? Like, if we-
Yeah, I have. I want to research the Chapter 91 regs a little bit more because
Okay.
I'm not super familiar with them.
If we were to need one, we couldn't apply until we had an order of
Oh, okay.
conditions.
I
Okay.
wasn't sure which way I
That
went.
comes first.
Okay.
Okay, so it would just be contingent on receiving the 91 license. Okay,
Okay.
And were we to require that,
I'll look into that. 'Cause
then,
that's-
then the boardwalk wouldn't be built probably for 2 years.
okay.
Because they're taking 12 to 18 months to process
Yeah.
things.
Let's hope we don't. Yes.
We could do this Saturday morning. We could do. Are you here this Saturday? Okay. You want to do the 15th?
Yeah, I'm due. 15th's fine for me.
Okay.
If it's fine for y'all.
15th,
My calendar.
I will not be here. What about next Wednesday? Like 3:30
The 12th,
for the 12th?
I could do that.
Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm off from Monday to Wednesday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because of the holiday in the middle there. So I'm sorry to make this difficult. Thursday.
Thursday, I think 3:30. I like 3:30. I could
Thursday next week, she can't do
Yeah,
that.
you
I
can
can't do
help.
it Thursday.
Friday.
Friday the 14th?
Friday the 14th.
3:30 probably can't work for you.
No, I think 3:30 on the 14th should work.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
I don't have my calendar, but nothing's jumping out at me, so. What's the date on Friday?
14th?
That doesn't mean. I think it's.
And and two, is it okay if, we contact Arlene And when, would you be available maybe like in a different time during the week that, if, you know, that might be easier too,
Yeah,
if there's some
That's a
people
good
that are
point.
free, and we just cap it to like 2 people.
Yeah,
And that would make
as
it
long
a
as
lot
there's
easier.
no,
You know,
no quorum.
what's our quorum, 4?
Mhm.
So we do max 3 people.
all right, we'll figure it out.
All right,
But we're 11, 14.
So that's what my.
3:30?
we'll set it up for the 14th, 3:30.
And then if there's time, you know, individuals wanna go or can't go then. you know,
Who should we contact if we want to, if we can go?
I mean, she'll get us the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have my calendar, but I would like to go.
It should be listed on the notice of intent too, so would that mean,
On my way out and said I don't need
the
it.
next meeting is the 19th, I believe.
What's the next time?
Our next Concom meeting is the 19th, so
Yeah.
we're meeting on the
Do you-
14th.
Do you want to do it the 19th, or do you think, would that be enough time to prepare?
I suppose that if there were plan revisions that needed to get made,
Right.
that wouldn't be enough time, but we could always ask for continuance if that was something that
Perfect.
came up at the
Could
site.
shoot for the 19th, and then if we need longer, you know, we can put that in. That's
19th is fine.
Okay. All right, we're gonna do a, motion to continue DEP file number SE 66-2057. File the notice of intent for a new deck with balcony, boardwalk, and stairs to bank and mowing on 39 Torrey Road, map 63, lot 13.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Continuing that too?
The 19th.
The site visit's the 14th.
Yes.
pretty.
All right, I'd like to open DEP file number SE 66-2060. Stephen Canelli, Kara Marsh Matters Environmental, file a notice of intent for proposed addition to single-family home 497A, Route 6A, Sandwich map 53, lot 13. How we doing?
Hi. Pleasure to be here. My name is Morel Orta, and I actually should stream. That's a good question. So I am here with Mr. Stephen Canelli. He's the owner of the property at 497A, Route 6I. I am an architect, and I'm representing my own practice here in Sandwich. Actually, don't be far from here, and I've been in front of you in the past. I don't know if you remember me, but let me just show you what I got here. So let's see if it works. Until the screen. So the project in question, or the project that we're presenting today, is actually an addition to it's a residential addition to a house that is existing in the site. Let me just make it horizontal. This is from the architectural side. I can actually zoom in. You can see the house in the left is actually what is existing. The one on the right is actually the addition that is being proposed. I will go very quickly on the architecture and the site, and then I can do an aerial view so you can see what it is. So the site is actually very long and very narrow in the area. So before even starting designing the building at all, I scheduled a pre-construction meeting with Jenna and with Mr. DeConto and everybody, and Ian and everybody in town. And we were discussing options of where we could do this exercise. And from those discussions is that the location of the project actually came to happen. You will see in a little bit forward, but let me just show you the scope. So if you see the existing house actually is a footprint of 275 square feet. And what we are planning to do is just add 900 square feet. And the reason is because the house is just basically a bedroom with a kitchen, as you can imagine, for that size. I mean, the house is rented as just as a bedroom rental, but it's in such a great location that it doesn't lend itself for permanent occupancy. So that's what we're trying to solve. So if I come here, I can show you that's the existing residence currently. And then the addition, if you see the surroundings already has been, like there's gravel, there is a septic tank that is not going to be modified in any way, shape, or form. We're not adding bedrooms, it's just actually adding living space. And you can even see, I mean, that's what it will look like, and that's what it will be inside. So it's just living space. So I can show you from the aerial view where it is located. So I think that you will have more clarity. Let me see if I can hide that one. Currently, the house, this is Route 6I. If you know Canyons, it's just right there. So this house is actually behind it, and it's located in this location. If you see, it's pretty much at the same elevation where the junkyard of the cars is in the same location and the same distance from Scorpion Creek. There are other houses to the left. They're actually considerably closer to the creek. And as you can see from the aerial view also, that the site is actually is already, the part where the addition is going to happen is just gravel. So there is absolutely no marsh or anything. The reason why we are in front of you is because clearly we're in a flood zone and we're pretty close to the wetlands in any direction. So, I mean, we did the due diligence of studying the location that worked the best, and we presented before even doing any drawings. I went to town hall with the options. It's like, how about here? How about there? And that's how we ended up here. So hopefully that was clear. If you have any questions, please.
I'd like to open it up to public comment. All right, closing public comment, open up to the staff.
Okay, so I had some notes initially about alternative locations, and after a site visit, after looking at how small the lot is and really the only place it could go without impacting the septic is where you're looking to put it, and that would make sense there. All the plans have been updated to clarify any of the questions I had regarding the colors and where things were labeled and how they were labeled. So that's been revised and is easily identifiable now. There was a previous order of conditions and it included ongoing conditions. They weren't at the time in perpetuity, but I think it would be beneficial to the resource area to include them in perpetuity. They were no cutting of vegetation in the buffer zone or resource area outside of what the duration of this order allows. So that marsh area where that path was in the back, there wouldn't be anything, you wouldn't be able to alter that area or develop it or anything other than maintaining the path. No storage of equipment, boats, etc. in the buffer zone or the resource area. And then maintenance of the path to Scorpion Creek is permitted, but the width will not exceed 4 feet. So I think if the commission wants to agree, in perpetuity would benefit the resource area and prevent that kind of fragile, unique ecosystem from getting impacted negatively. And gutters and downspouts have been added. And I think that's all I had.
Good. All right, I'd like to open up to the board. Who has any questions?
Does this project have a previous filing?
Yes, under SE 66-1307.
What year?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was older.
10, 20 years ago?
13, yeah, I really can't say for certain. I don't want to say the wrong date.
What was the filing for?
I want to say it had to do with construction of the house, but
Was that when the house was constructed?
Do you remember? You weren't the.
No, I didn't know it.
yeah, there was a
You didn't know
previous
that.
owner.
In 2008.
Okay.
I know there was in the past, not under you guys, a couple violations and things that I believe Dave DeCanto had
Yeah,
addressed.
that's what I'm seeing. I'm
yeah.
seeing some violations in the aerial.
And that
There's
was-
been a lot of clearing on the site over time. So
Yeah.
that's what I was asking. So we have some things have been cleared up. with
Yeah, so
previous
that,
owners?
I believe that all has been cleared up, and I think having those ongoing conditions, in the initial order for the 1307 prevented anything else from happening. I know there was also other things with the house that needed to be brought up to code, and all of that, I think, has been addressed since then under the new ownership.
When you met with the town for the session about figuring out where you can put this thing, did you have your survey complete then, or were you using the site survey were you using the overlay survey that I have seen in your architectural plans? Or did you have a completed a survey?
Originally, we had that survey that I was using in my architectural
Yeah.
plans, and then it was updated, and then the modification of the design actually happened.
I think that the big difference that I'm seeing from potentially that plan that you were showing to kind of figure out where it could be
Yeah.
was that your addition did not show you going right up to the wetland edge. On your site, on the site plans that are showing, that you show in your architectural package,
I can put
there
it
is
this way.
more space between your addition and what is shown as that wetland
Yeah.
edge. So I'm looking at A001.
Correct. Yeah, I have it here on the screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then when you actually get it surveyed, you see there's a lot of
Correct.
space there. So that does seem more reasonable. It seems like you could potentially construct the home without being in the wetland. But then when you look at your survey, which if you can pull up your
Yeah, I can
survey,
put it.
you can see that you're going to be right on the edge of that wetland.
Yeah, I see this on, I don't know what sheet this is, but there only shows 14 feet between the edge of the house to the wetland. So I'm not sure how the addition would even fit.
Yeah, that was the issue, and that was part of the conversation with Ian and with the town officials, and with Mr. DeConto and Jenna, that the only place we wouldn't want to go north because it's close to Escorting Creek. We wouldn't be able to go left because we have setback regulation, and we do have the septic, which will also have to respect the setback, and we won't want to touch the septic in any way, shape, or form to create more disturbance. And then on the right side, we're actually keeping the wall in the same location where the current shed is.
Gosh, did you say that the plan said it was 14 feet right now?
Yeah, I'm not sure what page this is. Sorry, it says sheet 1 of 2. It's the certified plot plan. It shows 40. So I guess my question is, what is the dimension? Do you know the width and length of the addition?
I believe from the face of, I can look it up again. Let's open it on the screen. So the dimension is just 13 feet, which would allow for a stair to actually go through the relocation of the stair and the space. But then we're limited by the location of the septic tank to make a viable.
To be honest, to be honest,
No,
septic
yeah.
tanks can be moved and redone. So just because
Okay.
you have a constraint of a septic tank doesn't mean that you should automatically be granted the right to go into a wetland to construct this home. Like you're constructing a home conceivably no more than 1 foot off of the wetland edge. That's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Have you provided us any construction methodology about how this building is going to be built in order to protect that wetland edge that's 1 feet away from you?
So again, I understand what you're saying about the location of the septic, and that septics can be moved. When I went to meet the town officials, I asked them about the options, and that was never, since that septic was actually installed recently, and there was I imagine that was one of the permits that was done most recently. So I guess that creating the disturbance of that septic was something that they had into their mind, or Mr. DeConto had in his mind. Sorry.
I want to
about-
remind you
about-
that you're talking with us.
I know.
We're the approving board, and any
Correct.
conversations that you may have had with others, you may not have been presenting all the information that you're presenting to us here. So we're going to start and we're going to look at the information that you're presenting to us here.
Correct.
I understand you got guidance about the general area of this building, but at that meeting, as you stated, you did not have a survey in your hand, so it was not clear to anyone at that meeting where your wetland edge was located in respect to your existing house.
Mm-hmm.
And you're bringing to the board a house that you're asking to be constructed right abutting the wetland. And so my question is, how are you going to build this house and not touch that wetland?
That is a great question, and it's a fair question, and everything that you have said is completely fair. That is just going to be a poor foundation, the same way that any other foundation. The only difference is that there's tall. We can do some remediation to make sure that there's a silt fence that we can do. We can do certain things, but as you know, within a foot, it's actually quite challenging to.
And if the exterior wall ends at 13 and you have a 2-foot footing, you're going to be digging on the wetlands, if not into the wetlands.
Correct, you will have, correct. So the only way that I can see that being remediated is either I can move that foundation inwards and create an overhang, I can like move the foundation wall. If you see like the foundation wall, I can actually move it away from the wetland, and I can do a cantilever of the structural members, and then that will eliminate the need to actually dig so close to the. I mean, right now the width of the house is 20 feet, so I could easily move that foundation wall potentially 3 to 4 feet inwards, and then cantilever the rest of the structure, and that will remediate at ground level the intrusion into the wetland. So if that's a condition,
Because you go to put a 2-foot footing on right on the line, you're gonna go into the wetlands.
correct. So
You're
if
gonna be
I'm
negative
going,
feet.
I would have to go 10 inches because I mean, if I have a 10-inch wall, then I'll go 10 inches one way and 10 inches the other way.
Yeah.
So 10 inches will get significantly closer to the
Yeah.
the wetland. But again, it's like I'm here to listen to you, and if you think that that's a fair remediation, I'm happy to do it. We're happy to redesign the foundation and move it inwards, and then just cantilever the rest of the house. So the dimension, the critical dimension of 20 is not lost, which is the one that is making the space useful.
Yeah, if you solve for getting those footings inboard a little bit, so your ground contact is solved, there's still this need for you to construct that thing and to put windows in it and to put shingles on it. And all of that is happening from the outside and applied to the side of the house. So how are the workers going to be working and not violating that wetland, that edge of wetland, would be the question. We'd also need to definitely see some kind of silt fencing on the plan.
On the plans from
The problem with silt fence is it's very easally, yeah,
It's just gonna be infected, but at least it controls where they're allowed to be.
Right.
well, we're talking about the wetlands, but we also have the buffer zones. This is right on the line, and there's no buffer. Right now, there's a buffer to the wetland that's existing. So our role is to protect these wetlands.
Yeah,
To your point, the constraint of the septic system should actually be that we want this building to be further away from the wetlands, not closer. Typically, we have disturbances that are in the 50 to 100 foot buffer zone. Right now, we're looking at 100% in the 0 to 50, if not the 0 to 1 to 2 foot buffer zone. I don't think that there's a way that you can guarantee this without several feet of disturbance into the buffer zone, or actually
into the
the
actual
wetlands.
wetland,
Yeah.
just
We're in the
actually into the
buffer.
Yes.
I
wetland.
mean, I also don't want to encourage more gravel placement around to kind of buffer that, because I mean, just looking at the aerial, I question, you know, if the gravel extends more than 14 feet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if your survey that you have actually showed the extent of all the gravel that you have, because I don't believe it is showing that. It's indicating a much smaller driveway than in the pictures, in the aerials it's showing. So I think there may be, need to verify some of your existing conditions that you're showing in the survey and update them to what you actually have out there. But I can't, I don't understand, I can't understand how this is even brought before us, that you want to build a building right on the wetland edge, and there's no, I don't know, I don't know what to do with this one.
it's also an ACEC.
It's what?
And area critical environmental control.
Yeah, and there's no prejudice from what was done from the previous owners. I think just the proposed building is,
So this is not the right survey.
yeah.
That's the one that they had on there, so
I think it's the latest one.
Which one
Yeah.
is the other one?
all the way up top.
Oh,
Here,
that's what that line.
You can
that's
see it
what
on the
you had
screen
shown
right
up there, right?
Yeah.
You mean
This
like all
shows
the way up
buffer.
top?
This shows the whole buffer zone.
There it is. So yeah,
yeah, that one, so it's their brown line is
Yeah.
the building.
Yeah, that's what we were.
sadly in this property, like at either side that you go, you're always within the buffer zone, and you always. I understand.
Sure,
the
in terms
constraints,
of
but-
development, you can move that. If you were to center it where there's an existing structure, you can bring that, whether it's south, then you're limiting your disturbance right next to the buffer zone. So there are constraints with the septic, but if you were able to move that structure further from the wetland, that's gonna have much more of a
So can I offer a solution on the screen that maybe like you will be receptive to? So one thing that happens currently with this house, this is actually is an elevation, the side is elevation is A14 is what it should be. And the house currently is 9 feet. So regardless of what you do to the house, you have to lift it. So maybe a proposal for you is to keep the design almost intact. We could move, because we're going to lift this house and build a new foundation.
Okay.
Would you like this house to move center, so it's kind of equidistance, and always respecting the 12 feet setback there, 12 feet setback there. So the design of the house is pretty much intact, but we're actually moving.
Yeah.
I mean, as a proposal to you.
I think that's a great thing to think about. What are your side yard setbacks for your zoning?
12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
About a 9.
So you could go,
Awesome.
move it over. If
Because
you moved over
once
9,
we-
then you'd have to.
Once we have it on
remove
piles, it actually makes no difference to take it before this is built.
Mm-hmm.
So this will never get disturbed at all. If we move the house there,
Yeah.
then we can, and potentially the leach field can also be like located a little bit further without affecting the tank or the pump.
Right.
Sure.
So
Typically,
just
we
brainstorming with it.
Typically, we require approximately a 1-to-1 mitigation for disturbance. In this instance, I know you're also, it's a pre-disturbed area. But we saw that it was shifted, and we also saw some mitigation in the form of native plantings.
Yeah.
There may be disturbance during construction that would be offset by mitigation that's left there. I think that would be a condition we would.
Just for clarification, so I can inform the environmental that does the plan. So you want that remediation to happen in front of this wetland, so it will be protected.
Yes, you extend the buffer strip.
Okay, and then we'll have a silt fence, and we'll have I don't know how you call the little thing. But it's,
Silt sock.
Still talk,
Yeah.
yeah. And a limit of work, yeah.
okay, to
Limit
prevent
of work.
any.
Yeah, and an update on your survey for your driveway.
Yeah, of course.
Is different.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I consider that a bit of a betterment if you're taking gravel and you're turning it into vegetation. Now you've got some net positive going
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, that's why I default to you for guidance. It's like you are the experts.
If you'd like to, if we can continue that, if you'd like to bring a plan in front of us with kind of what we just discussed with that,
Yeah, what we can do is on the 19th, what I'll do is I'll talk to Ed Stone, which is doing the site.
Yeah.
And make sure that the extents of the driveway, they are correct. I can re-site my building into the middle, respecting the setbacks, but at the same time creating a buffer. And then we can add all of the notation that there is absolutely no setting or no construction staging anywhere near here, but it's like everything will happen, and that will determine the area where the staging will happen.
If we could also maybe get the architectural plans updated, I noticed the wetlands don't match.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, that's what
Barry
they're-
was-
I think
was
maybe
addressing.
you should drop that plan
Yeah,
out.
we can take it out. Yeah, we can
Okay.
take it all
It is-
together. Yeah.
It's kind of misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, do you want to do the 19th or do you want an extra meeting?
No, we can do the 19th. I mean, I think that the changes in the architecture, and again, by moving the building, you are not changing the architecture itself. You're just relocating it.
Right.
So it's more of a 2D exercise of graphic
Yep.
of where it's going to be placed and adding the correct notation. So it limits our work.
All right, we'll do a motion to continue that to the 19th.
And I appreciate the guidance. Thank you.
Motion to continue DEP file number SE 66-2060, Stephen Kennelly, care of Marsh Matters Environmental, 497 Route 6A, Sandwich, Mass. 02537, to the November 19th meeting.
All in favor?
Hi. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night. Thank you.
November 19th, right? Oh, I thought you said December.
We're not at Christmas
Oh,
yet.
I was like, what?
I'm gonna close one more and then, are you in the other business or are you with?
No, I'm 18 quiet.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Ed said I'm probably not gonna be needed, but I'm here.
Come on, all right, I'm just gonna make a motion, unless you want me to open it. I'll open it and then we'll, All right, open it up, DEP file number SE 66-2061, Justin Elisa, Penn O'Cara, Pesci Engineering and Associates, file the notice of intent. Proposal of new construction of a single-family home, garage, in-ground pool, and shed at 18 Quiet Street, Sandwich. located map 60, parcel 45. This was not closed last meeting because it didn't have a file number. It has a file number now. So I would like to make a motion to close and approve DEP file number SE66-2061. Justin and Alyssa Pennell, Carapesci Engineering and Associates, filed a notice of intent for proposed new construction of a single-family home, garage, in-ground pool, and shed at 18 Quiet Street, map 60, parcel 45, special and standard conditions as discussed. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That was easy.
Thank you.
All right, COCs, everyone was good except the last one? Or was that the other business one?
So all the COCs were fine.
Okay,
It was Phillips, Salt Marsh,
which was other business.
and the other business is an amendment process review,
Okay,
so that's different.
so A, B, and C are good to go.
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, I'd like to make a motion to issue a certificate, I'd like to issue a certificate of compliance for DEP file number SE668-812 AM1 Richard and Donna Welsh, notice of intent for proposed disposal system and installation of gas service, then amended to include an elevated walkway deck replacement at 227 Phillips Road, maps 96, lot 23.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to issue a certificate of compliance for DEP file number SC66-1781 Walter and Elaine Polick, care of Coastal Engineering. File a notice of intent for proposed septic stairs and deck at 16 Salt Marsh Road, map 77, lot 29.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I'd like to issue a certificate of compliance for DEP file number SC66-1892 Lisa Mulver, care of Sebastian Inc. File the notice of intent for raise and rebuild single-family home at 16 Marsh Road, Sandwich, Mass, map 77, lot 29.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Other business.
Do you have the amendment process email, or do I get this to you? Either way, I'm not sure how Alex usually does that.
All right, so just open, do you want me to make a motion for this?
No, it's just to, well, I guess you can make a motion, but it's to decide if we want to do an amendment, a formal amendment, a field change, a new notice, or a new notice of intent.
Did we talk about this one last meeting?
I don't think so.
Oh, let's
We
talk
do, I don't
about it.
remember.
So, did you visit it?
I've been there a few times, yeah.
Okay, so they're adding on to an original orders of conditions?
Yes, yep, it's not expired.
And they're fighting the raising it up, or?
No, so what they want to add a hot tub to their property.
Okay.
Which would obviously have to be on a raised platform because they're in dune.
Yeah.
Which I've explained to their representative that, you can't just put the hot tub on the sand.
Yeah.
Originally, they wanted to put it on a second floor deck, and there wasn't gonna be any movement to the ground, and impact to the ground level, but I don't think worked out. So then they wanted to do it on like a raised platform. If we wanted to allow them to do that, obviously it would require a structure. I don't think it's just the platform, the hot tub itself. It's probably going to have
If they do an amendment, do they have to come in front of us?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, as long as they come in front of us, I think.
Okay. Otherwise, I can approve it via a field change, but that's kind of a lot of stuff going on in a dune. So
Yeah,
I don't know if you're comfortable with that.
In most cases, it'd be, if it was a small change, it'd be nice.
Usually it's like a generator
I
stand
think,
or
yeah, I
something
think
small.
something like this, we would want.
Generator, totally cool with.
Yeah.
Hot tub,
You
we
wanna
usually don't
revise
like 'em.
Weird. Yeah.
You want a stamp plan, you want it at the
Yeah.
registry, so when the COC comes up, it's.
We wanna make sure they can't put it anywhere they want.
Yeah, and obviously it needs to be an engineered structure. That's a lot of weight to be.
Is it a
sitting
hot tub too?
Yeah.
Do we do the standard pool conditions for?
Yeah.
salons?
Yeah, we would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we
That's
go a little
not
bit more,
in-
cause that's gonna be like heavy chlorine.
Yeah.
That needs
so
heavy wash.
Yeah, I think that would definitely be an amendment.
And most people don't like to hire someone to pump it out.
Yeah, and a pool is different. Like a hot tub is like they're like, oh, what's the big deal?
Exactly.
The pool's, yeah.
That's why we don't usually like let them go. I
It was
remember
a
there's been a few.
request I hadn't seen before, so I was
Yeah.
like, you want to do what?
Yeah, so,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say
I
just,
think
yeah,
that
bring-
feels like an amendment, a
Okay.
good discussion for an amendment.
I'll advise them to apply for that then, and then they'll come before us and.
perfect.
I'm just looking at the plan, this is from December 18th, 2024 meeting, that there was a hot tub on the plan. So, I'm not sure then what we had as a discussion, if it then isn't off the plan, it was removed and now it's back on, so that feels odd. Just,
I'll have to take a look at that.
so I don't remember those meetings, but clearly it must have been a discussion we've had before.
Can I see that plan? December 2024?
Yeah, yeah, here it is.
All the more reason for an amendment.
They did have that on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so but they want to make it not on the deck now? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's not, they went from, I think what was on the plan there to the roof, and now on the ground,
I wonder if they want to sink it into the deck.
traveling hot tub.
Yeah, let's go see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this house. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a couple site visits there, and I remember it being a large
Yeah.
house.
I remember I did a site visit, I don't know where, but no, it was a pool, never mind.
Let's talk about it. Let's have them do an amendment.
Okay,
And
sounds
that would
good.
be great if they're willing to do that.
Cool.
And then,
Yeah, we don't need to vote on that, yeah.
no, I don't think so. I'll tell them to file as such.
It was also the meeting that Tyler came before us.
Oh,
So you just popped up on that, so when we talked about that.
Oh,
you were
right.
sitting there the whole time.
Why
don't I remember
that? Good.
Okay.
And the only other business, I have minutes to approve, and Alex and I, before she left, created the proposed conservation land trail work permit checklist. So,
Did Alexandria go on vacation or did she
no,
leave?
she left.
She left the sandwich?
She's still with the town, but she's not with conservation anymore.
Oh, where is she now?
Clerk's office.
Yeah?
Clerk?
Oh,
Oh, you'll still see her.
so we
but
still
not
see
with
her.
me.
Oh.
Yeah, so she's moved over. So we have an open position. Yeah, this was the proposed kind of application, similar to what we do with an administrative review, but thank you. But for any work from outside entities on conservation land. So I think we've got 2 copies here. If you guys wanna check those out, I can make edits, changes, add things, take things away.
Now, so this is the work permit that this is review, new proposed conservation land trail?
Yeah, so like how the Mountain Bike Association, or if it's a Boy Scout group or an individual, if they want to do work on conservation property, that is the idea that it would be a betterment for the community. There was no formal application process prior to now, and I want there to be one.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So that's what we created, but obviously I want everyone's input on that.
Is there a fee for this?
Yeah.
There can be.
I would say,
I don't have one now because the idea was it's gonna be better for us.
I would say no.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially if it's gonna be like,
Not for profit.
yeah.
Like they're doing work for,
Yeah, I would say
you
no,
know.
I would say no fee, but definitely a complete form.
Yeah.
That shows validity to what
We
they're
can
gonna be
condition
doing.
it,
Yeah.
to include, time of year restrictions, or no earthwork, or this and that, erosion control.
Only
Also-
question I had about it was a water notification.
So we can't do that.
Yeah.
I talked to Dave for a little bit more about that because there is no repercussion for not getting an abutters notification. Like the abutters notification for NOIs, RDAs, it's like a state requirement and a town requirement. So we even if we were to require one and abutters would come in with concerns, there really isn't anything for them to like appeal or deny or to go back and forth.
Right, they have no
They-
jurisdiction.
Yeah, they could say their piece all day long, but there really isn't anything to do about that other than hear them out. So
But
David
also
brought
they do have influence over what, I mean, people should be notified of work that's potentially going on beside them. Like, is there no way to just put flyers out to
Well,
say
if
there's
somebody
a
were
notice?
to receive that permit, they would have to post it, like a DEP number.
After the fact.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
So-
not enough transparency, I think, for,
But also too, like, maybe you do it to like a buffer zone, like people within, a half a mile radius? Because like, what if you're on Discovery Hill and someone on this side is getting notified about work over here? that
I've
is
seen
under-
like when the town goes to do, like, take a tree down, they'll put a notice on the tree that says, we're gonna take this tree down, this is town land, we're
I
taking
could
it
put a
down.
notice like on the conservation
you need-
area parcel itself.
I think there needs to be some notice
Yeah.
of something
Because
that's
we've been
so,
updating all the
I agree with
kiosks
that,
and stuff, so if there's a proposed project, coming before you guys and we have a date, I could put something on the kiosk saying, so-and-so is proposing this on this date, if you want to learn about it, come to the meeting.
Yeah.
but why,
Versus-
why can't abutters be notified again?
Dave advised against it, because even if they were notified, there isn't any process for them to like appeal the project or something, like you can
Is
appeal
there-
a notice of intent or you can appeal an order or a determination or something, where
But it is a process for them to state an opinion or a fact.
Right, but they
These are the people that live around these projects, they more intimately know things that go on
Right, I
in
agree.
these
I think there
areas.
should be some process for them to be notified, but making it a formal abutters notice requirement, I think crosses too many
I
lines.
think Dave didn't want them to have,
It kind of
Like
gives
a-
too much
yeah.
say, too much power, I guess.
Why can't we require the applicant to mail the application to all of the abutters, not as an official notice or anything, but I just don't I don't understand the logic of that, this legality piece that you're saying
Right.
that Dave's concerned about. I don't understand that. Like, somebody should be able to,
I think
be
there's
handed
no appeal
something.
process to go along with it. So if somebody wants to come in and say they, are for or against, or I guess in this case, say they were against it,
Mm-hmm.
there isn't anything, we can hear them out, you can listen
sure,
to the comments.
and I want to.
Okay,
And so we should, just because there's no formal way for them to appeal any negative things they say, they should be able to have a time to state their
what
opinion.
if we drafted like an informal notification, like so this is specifically informal?
Yeah, I think it would be important to note, I think it just creates more work for you, but if there was a draft notification letter, it clearly states in it that this is just for you to know that this work is happening.
And this is the meeting that it's
Or being
happening on.
proposed.
yeah, so if they wanna learn about it.
Exactly,
Or-
and then
or cater
you
toward
can sort
learning
of say,
about
this is not an appeal there is no appeal process.
Something, yeah.
Make that notified on there, so when they do come before us, and if somebody is, we can say, hey, you received this letter.
Yeah.
When they properly did this application, you received this letter, this is how we're reacting to that. But I think it's just like if they're doing trail maintenance and for whatever reason they're using like machines.
Yeah.
Or not machines, but like a chain or even a hedge trim or anything.
Or anything
people
that's
might-
gonna alert somebody,
Exactly. Then you can say, nope, we sent out this notification to you. This is what they're doing. As long as they're following what they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
I think that was how we kind of sort of got into this original kind of. I think so. I think a notification with a way to kind of clarify would be super helpful.
Yeah.
I think because of the conversations I had with Dave and Alex and I were going back and forth with things, I think the message or the idea to get across was like, this is Conservation Commission, this is town-owned land, so even if somebody did have something negative or something unbased or whatever to say about the work we're doing, like, we can still do what we need or want to do on our town-owned property.
All right.
There's, I don't wanna say.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
They're saying that it matters because
But
we
it
wanna
is
hear.
town, it is town-owned, and the people who are coming here to speak to us are from the town. And so there is that fine line
Yeah.
of like the institution of the town and the
Versus the
town's
townspeople,
people
yeah.
that
Yeah,
we're
I hear
trying
you.
to kind of balance out. And I mean, that's right, it is the town land, you're
I
allowed
don't
to
say like the
do.
town can do what they want on
Yeah,
town property,
right.
like we don't notify abutters when we, change paint on town hall or something, you know what I mean, but I still think, I agree, I think they should be notified.
I think it'd be a great chat GPT. Say, hey, this is the notification I want, and I want to clarify this, and it'll kind of
Yeah.
How
run it
many
through
thousands
for
of
you.
gallons of water?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think the one thing though that is a big difference is new trails versus maintenance of trails. Cause like when it says
I'm writing this as we go. I'm
this
like,
is only like expires in 6 months, like if I'm doing trail work, I have to do that forever. Like
So, yeah, that was something we wanted to address, that if there's maintenance, so say, somebody wants to create a trail.
Yeah.
And if there's future maintenance that might be needed at some point.
Yeah.
They need to account for that when they apply for the permit, and then anytime they need to do something, they notify DNR.
Yeah, but
Like they're signed and agree to do that.
the challenge is like if it's an existing trail that is already I just walked through Greenbrier before this meeting, and there is so much work that needs to get done. And what I want is the neighbors to feel empowered to do it.
be able to do it.
And I wonder if there's a way that we can have a separate thing that's like, do you want to do trail work? We could run a workshop and help people learn how to do it. Because that is, I think building a trail is a very different impact to the ecosystem than it is maintenance of an existing trail.
Maintaining a trail.
And I think we should put it under further advisory when it is something new versus something that's not.
But if we had a group, like you said, if you have a group of abutters or individuals who love Greenbrier or love a specific area, we train them how we want the trails to be done, so they're not 5 feet, 6 feet wide, or don't cut the natives versus the invasives, things like that, so they don't go rogue. And then have I don't want to say a friends of, but kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
That's what they'd have to do, because then that friends of needs to contact DNR.
Yeah.
Because then you have someone random that's like, oh, you guys taught me how to do this, and I just did it all.
Right. Yeah. I think having I don't know how committees and things work per se, but having some sort of group that does that. I will say trail maintenance is on the list of things that we have for our seasonal people. We just got an AmeriCorps placement, so we've done the whole process for everywhere. We want to repaint and
Yeah, and I think us establishing this application allows other nonprofits to submit a free application.
Yeah.
And bring someone along, like the Boy Scouts could do it, and they could just do a day or two of trail maintenance work.
Yeah.
And the DNR is just go to this one, we'll send someone with you.
Yeah.
Teach all the guys about what they're doing, and they submitted a permit for free, and they got the workshop done, we got maintenance done.
Yeah.
And we had a clear process.
Hours or whatever they
Exactly,
do.
yeah.
And it also applies to where I had worked back in Dartmouth. We had trails that they did a lot of viewing platforms on filings. So if an organization wanted to do something like that, they would go through this kind of process versus just email correspondence that gets lost by the wayside.
Yeah.
Someone wanted to do a bike
Good to get the
trail,
Boy Scouts involved.
like a mountain bike trail.
I want to avoid any further.
To get other organizations involved, like
Yeah, I
Boy
think it's
Scouts,
great.
Girl Scouts maybe, what I mean?
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's a good idea, great idea.
But I do like that idea of how do we let people know. I said it the day I came to get my interview for the committee. I asked permission to maintain the stone walls of Greenbrier, and it's been fun looking at this because I really want to do this myself. I've already been given permission, but I want to model it because it's something. And I think about when those neighbors walk by, if I'm clearing out a wall, what are they thinking? Because there isn't a process to let them know about it, but there should be. So.
You can give them shirts. DNR.
Yeah, totally. The shirts, some signage.
Sticker. Well, I think sending out an informal letter, not a formal butters notice, and then it's easy enough to post a sign on the kiosk so the people that hike there every day know that there's something happening, so they don't feel blindsided by work that's going on in a place they care about.
And my guess is most of them are going to be excited because
I hope.
if someone's doing trail work, that'd be awesome. It's not fun to battle Greenbrier.
No.
So many scars
Yeah.
from all the trails.
Lugging a chainsaw out there takes a lot of effort.
So that's that. I can definitely make those changes and bring it before review again before we enact it. I don't do anything formal to enact it. It's just this is here now.
Awesome.
That's perfect. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Alex really took the reins on that.
Alex.
I know she she is with the clerk's office now.
We'll go bother.
Send her our regards.
Yeah, all your licensing needs. And then I have minutes to approve.
Yeah, we have the.
Hold that.
I'd like to make. They were attached to the file. I thought I read them, right? Yeah, everyone read them, right?
Yeah, 10:15.
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion to approve the October 15, 2025 meeting minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Anything else? That's it. All right, guys. I'd like to.
Adjournment.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the November. Yeah, we're in November. November 5th, 2025 Sandwich Conservation Meeting at 7:15 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?